All right, cheap beer for you to drink, a little behind the scenes video. This is Guy. Hey, Guy.
Hello.
What are we doing today?
Brewing up a batch of beer.
Is this something you've done before?
Once or twice, but it's been a couple years.
It's been a while. Okay, this is something I've never done before. So you're going to have to kind of show me the ropes here, and we're going to remember how to do this together.
Yeah. Got a nice instruction manual from Northern Brewer.
Okay.
Making a Chinook IPA today.
You like IPAs?
I do.
Okay.
I know they're not usually on the cheaper side.
No, they're not.
Cheaper for you to drink. But I think the way the math works out is that these beers will cost about $1.10 each. We'll end up with about 50 beers today, or in 6 weeks.
That's cheap. That is cheap. Okay, so that was going to be my follow-up question was when you make it at home, I mean, is it worth it? So
You've got the upfront equipment cost.
oh, that's true.
So the equipment costs about $150. We've got
So these buckets
our
here.
two buckets. We've got a bottling bucket and a fermenting bucket. We've got a 5-gallon pot.
Nice.
We've got some bottling equipment and
Yeah.
some bottles downstairs.
Okay. And then I mean, you said this is going to be what, 6 weeks?
Yeah. So this will be about 3 hours today. Set it down in the basement for 6 weeks. Forget about it. 6 weeks. Put it in bottles.
That's a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, but it should be worth it because I've never made my own beer, but you've done it. So when you finally get to try it at the end, is it pretty exciting?
Oh yeah. And I've actually made this recipe from this company before.
Oh, shoot. Cool.
So, and it turned out really well.
Nice.
It's like a red IPA, if you've had any of those.
I don't know that I've had. Again, I don't drink a lot of IPAs, but I'm excited to try something, especially something that we've made. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
So, all right, this is kind of the preliminary stuff. We'll show you little bits and pieces of the process, and of course, at the end, we'll try it and see how it turned out. All right, this is an interesting part. We're putting grains in this bag. I'm just assuming it's gonna be like a giant tea bag. Is that kind of what we're doing here?
Yep. In fact, they use the same terminology. It says to steep the grains in our boiling water.
Okay. So we're using an old sock here. Look at that. All right, just put the grains in, 20 minutes. They're going to steep in here. Look at that. Nice and toasty. Only a few minutes left, and that looks pretty damn good. Look at that color. This looks dangerous. What are you doing, guy?
Removing our steeped bag of grains from our soon-to-be beer.
Nice.
We got to let it drain. The instructions specify not to squeeze it. I assume we don't want any of the grains to pop out.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just too warm. So let it drain naturally. And then after this is out, we're going to bring our concoction up to a rolling boil.
Sweet. Making progress. Good look at all the ingredients still left to go. That's the important one right here. Here's the yeast, the yummy stuff. All right, so we took it off the heat, and now we are adding this malt extract syrup.
And we're going to add the 1 pound of dry malt extract.
Yeah, this right here.
We're going to stir it in until it's dissolved.
Oof. And then we'll have, what's it called? Wort?
Wort. Unfermented beer.
Appetizing. All right, so we put that the syrup malt in there, and now the powdered malt just went in, and ooh, we're getting some. Man, look at this wort.
Now we stir it in until it's dissolved.
Cool. Yeah, there's some chunks. We need to get that dissolved. All right, got it all stirred up nice. Okay, see, that looks like beer. We're making progress, but you can't drink it yet. This has got to boil for what, an hour, guy?
Yep, an hour.
All right, so I think it said something about watching it foam up. So basically cooking a big pot of spaghetti, can't let it boil over. First batch of hops just went in, timer for 60 minutes. And now it's time to play some Xbox. Ooh. It's been what? Just over a half hour. It is boiling away. It's smelling amazing in here. And yeah, things are looking good. All right, so this is interesting. So we're putting half this pack in.
Half this bag of hops in.
All right.
Half an ounce. Gonna eyeball it, not get too technical.
I mean, because what? 5 minutes later, we gotta put the other half in.
Is it 5?
Something like that. Still boiling. Look at that. That's a nice. About 10 minutes to go. It has been an hour of non-stop boiling. Put this bad boy in the sink. Is it going to fit? Is the real question. Look at that. Perfect fit.
Perfect fit.
And we're going to surround it with some cool water for what? A half hour?
Half hour.
All right, cool. Crucial step is getting some chicken tenders. That's a must. Chicken tenders have been ate. The bucket has been sanitized as well as some tools. Just adding a gallon of cool water. All right, time to get the wort. Yummy. It still smells good. All right, documenting in case there's a, huge spill because you want that on camera.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, but we don't have to worry about that. How nice. Yummy. Sweet, we are right up to the 5-gallon line. Added cool water. Man, that's beer. This is the stuff that makes all the action happen. Sprinkling in some yeast. Have a fun time, yeast buddies. Eat up.
Eat up.
Sealing her up, nice and tight. Bam. Airlock, and I think we're good to go at that point.
Oh yeah, now we just put it down in the basement, let it go for 2 weeks.
Sweet. All right, just like you're preparing for a tornado, you want to get to the basement and the most interior room. And you said 2 weeks?
No sunlight, 2 weeks. Try to keep a constant temperature of 68 is ideal.
And then halfway through, I think we're adding more hops, right?
Yep, at 7 days, we'll put in another ounce of hops. Not sure why, it's in the instructions.
And then we'll check back in 2 weeks. You probably don't need to see the hops part, but we'll check back in 2 weeks, and then that's the day we bottle.
Bottle a day, yep.
All right. What's up, cheap beer for you to drink? My name's JJ. This is Guy. We've been obviously working on this project here, and the fruits of mostly your, but our labor are here, and I'm pretty excited to try it.
Yep. Is this the first IPA you reviewed on Cheap Beer for You to Drink?
I've maybe done like one or two. I'm not a fan of IPAs.
Yeah.
But I am gonna, love this one. I just know it.
I used to drink a lot of IPAs. It seems like the whole world sort of went through a phase, and now it's bourbon.
Oh yeah.
But I still enjoy one every now and then.
Yeah, phases happen all the time. Seltzers were huge 2 years ago. No one drinks them anymore. Bourbon is in right now. We're lucky enough to be in Dayton where Century Bar is, which is known across the land as a really good bourbon bar. But yeah, IPAs, not as popular as they once were. But you brought a case of some Voodoo Ranger. Seems to be like one of the most popular IPAs.
Yeah, yep. That was just how I was transporting them. But in terms of cheap beer for you to drink, when you take out the cost of the bottles and the equipment, which you can reuse,
True.
The final cost of the beers ended up being 95 cents per beer.
95 cents per beer?
Which is that's cheaper than a natty these days.
Sure, yeah. That's cheaper than any IPA that you can get. So making your own, do you think, now that it's done, do you think the process is worth it?
Really not that much work. What was it? The day we were together, it was about 4 hours on the front end, you think?
Yeah.
And then just about 4 to 6 weeks of waiting. There was about a 2-hour bottling process kind of in the middle. Like at week 2. Wasn't that intensive. Wasn't that difficult. Yeah, super easy.
Yeah, and we'll see if if I like it. Because, again, you enjoy IPAs. So what are some of the IPAs that you enjoy, and is this comparable to it?
I like the Rheingeist Truth.
Okay.
Here locally, I really like the Yellow Springs Brewing Boat Show.
Okay.
Again, there's some that are just not my thing. You know, the grapefruit ones or the sour ones, I'm not as big a fan of.
So there's no additional fruit or any additional flavors in here. What style IPA was this again? Do you remember off the top of your head?
They called it Chinook Red.
Okay.
On the company that put it together. But I think it's mostly wheat flavors. Wheat and hops. A lot of hops is the trademark of the IPA, right?
Obviously, yes. Hops front and center and star of the show, and we'll see. I mean, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it gives you that bitter taste that a lot of people don't like, but
have you poured it into a glass yet?
I have not, no.
Look how dark that is and bubbly. I can't believe.
My pour was a little worse, or maybe my bottle just had a little bit more carbonation than yours. I gotta give it a second.
Okay, so we're gonna clean out these bottles, sanitize them, reuse them. Sorry about the cap. That's done for.
No worries. The caps are not reusable, so
okay.
that is another thing you have to buy every time.
Well, they can't be too much.
Yeah, they're
That's
cheap.
good. I'm sure the
Couple dollars for 50 of them.
I'm gonna set this down here. Man, that smells good. What does this smell like? It smells like good beer. I like that, and you said red in the name of it, and that is a pretty red beer.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
It's like a red amber color. I've got a lot of foam here still, but nothing I can't work through.
Well, we'll give it a couple more seconds.
The only thing about the caps is I saw you had one of those
I do. I need
things
to
with
put it in
not
the
a lot of
map.
caps in there.
Yes.
Map of Ohio with the caps.
All right. You're right. That's going in the map of Ohio. I don't ever drink beer out of bottles. I always drink it out of cans.
Well, all the cheap beers come in the cans.
They do.
I think it's a cheaper process for the manufacturers.
Exactly. And now I'll have to add that to the collection of caps that I never add to because I don't really drink beer out of bottles. But drinking this one out of a bottle, well, shoot. Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
I'll take that one if you want.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
I've already tried it, so you're the first taste test here. So
Here we go. Holy cow, that's good.
that's a good beer.
Why is this so much more enjoyable than all the other IPAs I've had?
I swear, sometimes it's just like they try too hard. You know, they put too many flavors in there. And so I don't know. I mean, I didn't really do anything special. I just bought the kit. But this one seems sort of, the flavors aren't that complex, right?
They're not. And I mean, you get the hops. You do. It's still an IPA, but there is just something about this one that is much more smoother to me. I don't know. That just, I can't believe we made something that is that good. That is really
Yeah, it turned
good.
out really well. I have made them before. This was probably my fourth time doing this process, and this is one of the better ones, for sure.
Have you had one that came out like non-drinkable? Like, I can't drink this. Like the first one? The first one came out drinkable?
First one came out drinkable.
Okay.
This is actually the one I made first, was this kit. And then I tried a couple other kits. And there was one that came out bad. But the other three came out pretty well.
Were they all IPAs?
No, we made a porter once.
Okay.
I think that was the one we messed up.
Okay.
I used to do this with another friend in Columbus, and so.
Was that process as similar? Or when you make a porter, when you make different style beers, are the processes similar or are they pretty different?
The process was the same,
Oh, okay.
just different ingredients.
So, of all the IPAs that you enjoy, which one would you say this is most similar to? Because I would want to go out and buy this and drink it again.
Have you ever been to BJ's Brewhouse?
Yes.
They have one called It's been a couple years since I went there, but they have one that's a red IPA.
And it tastes pretty close?
Yeah, it's very similar to this, yeah.
Well, shoot. BJ's makes a lot of their own beers, too, I think.
Yeah,
they have, like, house beers.
Yeah, I think they have some sort of, brewing station in the back, or maybe that's just for show and they have a big national one, but I don't know how national that chain is either.
Yeah, no idea. I know there's at least a few in our area. I'm assuming it's like a national chain.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to one in Columbus, but I've never looked it up.
Well, first of all, thank you, because this was a very fun process, something I've never gotten to do and something I've always wanted to do. And it's so good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, thank you too, because this helped me get back into the process, right?
Of course.
Where I already have bought another kit for when these beers run out.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you say a kit, most of the equipment is the same. It's just the ingredients that you bought this time?
You use, I will reuse all the equipment, and then I just buy, it's like the grains and the sugar and the malt and the hops.
What's the next one going to be?
I bought, it was a little bit more daring. It was an Imperial Stout kit.
Oh, shoot.
So it might be a little hefty. It might take me a while to drink 50 of those, to be honest with you.
Oh, we had 50 of these?
47.
47. How many are left? The majority?
Yeah, I think this is like, I think we've drank like 15 of them.
Okay.
So.
Damn.
Yeah, 47 beers. The kit, the ingredients all cost $45.
Wow.
So we get that 95 cents. And that's a lot of beers.
And it's something that, you mean, if you made it again and you started doing this process, you've done it a few times now. I feel like at a certain point you can get to that part where you're like, I didn't like the way that tasted, I could add this. Or let me look how I can improve this, or add some fruits, or add some different flavors. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And for right now, I'm buying the kits on Amazon, like the pre-packaged kits. But they sell, like there's a store here in Dayton that has like, it's a brew store.
Yeah.
And so they'll just have the individual ingredients. You can go and like pick out your grains and your hops and sort of make your own recipe, right?
Are you going to do that at some point?
We'll see.
That'd be pretty exciting.
That would be really cool. I don't know. I mean, like, I know the recipe for this one, right? It was, well, I'd have to pull out the list, but it was grain.
Yeah.
Like, I know the general gist. I know what goes in it.
Did you name it? Does this beer have a name?
I didn't know.
Have you named any of the beers you've made?
I have, yeah. One time
okay.
I named it, and then I named it after the Dayton Triangles, the football team in Dayton in the 20s.
Yep.
And I went to the library. They have like this enormous like label printing machine, and I printed out labels for all the beers.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I was gonna do that for this one. I was gonna name it "Cheap Beer for You to Drink" and print out some labels, but I just never got over the library.
That's all right. That's really sweet. Yeah, and you're into you have like a 3D printer, so I don't know how you could incorporate that into making beers, but I'm sure there's a way. So at some point you're just gonna have your own brewery going. Maybe you could 3D print the bottles.
3D print the bottles? I don't think that would work. You'd get some microplastics, right?
That would be bad, yes.
But like drying racks or like racks to hold beers. I don't know.
Exactly.
I need to use the 3D printer more. So it's one of those things you buy and then you make the couple things you really wanted.
Yeah, because you buy it with an idea in mind. And then once you do it, you're like, yeah, okay.
And then you're always looking for something to print. So.
Exactly. Well, shoot. All right, Guy, thank you. This is super good. I'm excited to try. This opened my eyes to IPAs again because I feel like the ones I've had have been pretty intense. And this one is a more laid-back version, but it is still an IPA. And it's enjoyable. And I might have to drink some more. So thank you for opening my eyes, and thank you for this experience. It's
happy to.
Really cool. Made our own beer.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me on the channel.
Of course. It's cheap beer for you to drink. The whole video process is here. If you have made your own beer before, let me know about it. Let me know how it turned out. And thanks for watching.